Is the property market going to crash? Yes or no? We need to know the answer to this. In short, no, we don't need to know the answer to this. And it's becoming quite fashionable, especially for a lot of newbies or the media, a lot of sensationalists, to either be in a boom or a bust. The market's either steaming ahead or it's going to crash. Now, I've seen this a lot, is there going to be a property crash in 2022? I don't think so. And could end the video there. I'm not going to. But the reason being, from what I'm seeing on the ground, I work as a mortgage advisor, as you know, and I'm based out of an estate agency, so I'm seeing the footfall all the time. Demand for properties is still sky high. The thing that's limiting it, and I'm sure there'll be some figures coming out at the end of the quarter to say that there's no growth in property this quarter, or that there's been a reduction in growth, whatever they say. I'm not sure. I'll read the papers and get back to you on that. But on the ground, there is a lot of demand for properties. It is sky high. I'd say for every property that is listed where I work, there's around 20 inquiries, 20 call-ups with buyers in a proceedable position who want that property. The demand is high. The supply is restricted. Why? Cost of living rises, inflation rises, people nervous, they don't want to move because of those factors. And that could, shrink housing growth. Of course it could. But as long as the demand is high, people are still going to buy. And if people are still going to buy, then it's going to, it's self-perpetuating. Things start to get a little bit ropey when those buyers think, actually, I don't want to buy anymore because I'm worried about buying a bigger house because my energy prices will increase, etc., etc. When they start staying put, we've got a problem. And that's when a crash starts to happen. But at the moment, what I can foresee, what is actually happening in real life, there is still a lot of demand, and everyone you talk to, every estate agency that you talk to will say, we wish we had more properties. And that's the thing that's slowing things down at the moment. So looking ahead, is there going to be a slow up? Yeah, I think so. It's going to slow down. I mean, it couldn't have continued on the same trajectory at the same pace that it has been for the last 18 months, 2 years, because it's just been going crazy, as you saw from one of my previous videos. Double-digit growth, double-digit growth, certainly across Wales. I think overall 13.8% last year. Someone will probably pull me up on that, but it's been massive. Been really, really high. So it's only natural that it's going to slow down, but there's a very big difference between a slowdown and a crash. And there doesn't always have to be a crash. It's like, in a lot of people's eyes, it's either boom or bust. And in between those booms and busts, guess what? It's actually steady state, or steady growth, steady decline. Is not always the 1929 Wall Street crash. It's not always a Black Sunday or Black Monday or whatever it was. Pretty sure it was a Monday. So yeah, just wanted to get that out there, guys, because I've seen it around, a lot of articles being written, and some quite prominent people writing these articles around, is there going to be a crash? What I would say is, to investors, there is always opportunity in chaos, always. And there's always a way to make money, whether the market's booming or the market has dipped or crashed. Trying to time the market is always a gamble. The clue is in the phrase, you're timing it, so it's a guess. But what I would say is, property is a long game. It's not like day trading on the stocks. some years, yeah, you might be down, but it's a long-term play. I think that's always really, really important to bear in mind, that whatever the market's doing, if you're in it for the long term, historically speaking, you're going to make money. Checking and over-analysing the market on a weekly, monthly, even yearly basis can be quite detrimental, especially to not only to your, potential financial growth, but also, to your mental health. If you're on it all the time, and I'm the same, I've got the Trading 212 app, and I'm looking at stocks, and then so you find yourself every day checking the stocks, and you think, hang on, this is like a pension pot. This is a 10, 20, 30 year play, 40 year play. Don't get bogged down in the detail. Detail is fantastically important when you're doing a flip, when you're refurbing a property, absolutely. Be all in on the detail at those points. But if you're buying houses, do it for the long term. Think of the long term growth. Don't get yourself bogged down. You haven't always got to be feast or famine. Bit of a random one today, guys, but thought it might be useful to some of you who are starting to get a little bit twitchy about what the market's doing, or maybe you're sort of trying to second guess what's coming up. Take every day as it comes. Have half an eye on the future, but when property's concerned, always look long term. Please hit like and subscribe, guys, and feel free to send over your ideas for more content. I've had some fantastic emails off a few of you recently, interacting about some of the previous videos, so big shout out to you guys, really appreciate it. I'll catch you next week.